Yeah, how'd you get through the game, shoulder-wise?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Took a couple hits, but I feel good right now.
Jordan, what'd you think of that performance by your defense?
It was great. It was amazing. I think you hold a team to 6 points. It's great, and to be able to come up with so many turnovers like that, especially in the second half, it was a big-time job by everybody on the defense. And obviously, I'm not sure how many sacks we had, but they're getting after them, and so just a great job by them.
Jordan, when did you learn that during the week that Josh wouldn't be playing today?
Yeah, we found out today. I think they wanted to push all the way to game time and kind of see what the status would be for him. And, I found out today.
What's your level of confidence in a guy like Emmanuel just to give him a week, with especially what he did with it?
Yeah, no, I think it's great. I think he obviously did a lot of great things last week. And, he's the guy that we got confidence in, and for him to be able to find out that as well, that Josh wouldn't be going, I think, mentally he was preparing all week to be the guy, and then to find out and come out here and, have over 100 yards and break off some of the runs he did was pretty cool. So, great job by him and stuff to just keep building on and keep, being ready for whenever that opportunity is going to present itself for him and to take advantage of the more carries he got.
Jordan, had you guys talked going into this game about running the ball on third down, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, or was that more a result of what Emmanuel was doing, on those drives?
Yeah, I think some of it was just, the way we were running it on early downs, and I think you just kind of keep flowing with that momentum and keep trying to pound it, and O-line was doing a great job on them, and so just keep trusting that. Obviously, defense was balling out, getting a lot of stops, so I think that plays a part in it too. But yeah, I think they're just kind of imposing their will up front, and we just got to keep rolling with that.
Because how the defense was playing offensively, do you get into this mindset of if you just avoid the mistake? I know you always want to make plays, but just avoid the mistake that's going to be good enough.
Definitely. I think the mindset always going into it is, like we say, winning the turnover battle. And I think we did that today. And then, like you said, you get into it and defense is balling like that, coming up with stop after stop. That mindset is just keep taking care of the ball, don't make mistakes, and, just keep hammering away at it and keep putting together some good drives. And we did that.
Does that ever change your thought process during a play of, okay, maybe you want to go for it here, but the defense is playing the way it is, so just be a little cautious?
Definitely, always, and especially a defense like this that, you never know what you're going to get at all times with pressures and different coverages where, you just got to be smart. You always got to be smart, but, different situations. If you're down, obviously you'll be pushing it if it's a closer game, but with a 2-score lead and defense playing like that, like I said, yeah, you definitely just got to be smart in those situations. Keep trying to do what you're doing. If a big play presents itself, take it, but just be smart at the end of the day.
Jordan, I'm sure you guys were disappointed that the start of the second half you guys stalled out, but then just kind of what was the mindset, the reaction to getting the turnover off the punt deep in their territory?
Definitely disappointing. You want to be able to go out second half, get the ball and drive it down and take advantage of getting that ball back right there, and we didn't do that. And then obviously right after that, getting the ball back on the punt, Zane coming up with that and putting us right there inside the 10-yard line. And, those are the ones where you got to capitalize. You got to take advantage of that opportunity, and, that's the complimentary ball we've been talking about, taking advantage of special teams, getting a turnover, and we capitalized on it. So it was great.
Jordan, on some of those 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 4s, are you just assuming, or are you just counting on beating an 8-man front? Is that what you're getting, in those situations? They're coming up, and you just have to beat that some way or another?
Yeah, we had some plays called, and we're trying to take advantage of some of the things they showed earlier in the game. And, sometimes they switch the calls up, and we weren't getting that. And, when you get that, that's when you just got to try and find a way and block the front, and the running back just try and punch a hole through that and find a way to get those first. But like I said before, we kind of just leaned on that run game and try to just keep going with it, keep finding ways to, pick up those first downs.
Jordan, how much did the shoulder affect you today? And am I safe to assume that that's why you were handing off right-handed?
Yeah, exactly. It didn't affect me too much. Took a couple hits on it, but was fine for the most part. And yeah.
It's a pretty big game coming up this week on a short week. How long do you even give yourself to enjoy this one?
Yeah, like you always say, you enjoy it today. And like you said, very short week against a very good Lions team. So, obviously the prep is got to get started today, and everybody trying to get their bodies back, get back healthy as quickly as possible. But, short weeks are always tough. But, we'll definitely enjoy this win. But like we said, it's a good stretch of NFC North games right here that we got to go out there and find a way to go 1-0 next week as well. But the mindset's always to get back as quickly as possible, start studying for Detroit, and trying to get your body back as quickly as possible.
Is there another gear to hit offensively, and how do you get there on a short week? I'm assuming the Lions are going to score more than 6 points than, like the Vikings did today.
Yeah, you just got to take, advantage of what we see from Detroit and have a good game plan going into it. But, yeah, you always want to be at your best as offense, and, we'll see how the game goes.
Did you enjoy playing with a lead for the majority of this game rather than having to kind of go back and forth like the last 2 games?
Yeah, I definitely think it's fun playing with a lead, for sure, And you just got to keep finding ways to keep going, keep trying to put up as many points as possible. But, yeah, playing with a lead, playing when the defense is doing what they're doing, it feels good, and be able to go out there and get a win, and it feels great.
Jordan, was Christian Gobble, did they have someone over the top on him most of the day, from what you could see?
Yeah, I think it's just a product of some of their coverages. They did a lot of cover 2 where, they'll have the safeties over the top. So I don't think it was anything just to take away, Christian specifically. I think that was just some of the coverages we got a lot of today.
Some of those times when they're playing off him, is that something you knew? I mean, just take the 9-yard, a couple times you just took the 7-8 yard gain if they were playing off, or you ran the little, routes.
Yep, definitely. You're trying to take advantage of the coverages we're seeing, and if they're going to play soft, we did a good job, kind of just taking some of those completions underneath, to be able to keep the sticks moving. But yeah, I think they did a good job trying to take away some of those deeper throws today, and we did a good job responding to some of the coverages we got.
Is there truth to there being value in winning different ways? When you beat these guys New Year's Eve a few years ago, you were beating the Blitz with deep throws. Last year they beat you in 2 games, but this is a different type of way to win for sure.
Yeah, I think I said earlier in the week, I think for them as a defense, I think they've done a good job of every year just kind of evolving and, finding ways to, find out how the offense was attacking them and kind of adjust as a defense. And I think they've done a good job. They're a really good defense. One of those defenses, you just kind of never know what you're going to get on every play, and you got to be ready for a lot of different pressures, a lot of different looks. But yeah, we've done some different things over the years, and I think they've adjusted and played different coverages and different things. So I think we did a good job on just finding completions and obviously taking care of the football today against them. But good defense, and we'll have another chance to see them again.
You guys hadn't had an opening drive touchdown since Dallas. What was different today, and how much did that set the tone?
Yeah, I think you always want to start the game with that. We always have that mindset of starting fast, and before it's been we try to get the ball at first and go down and score a touchdown. I feel like that sets you up great. And then obviously today they started with it, went down with a field goal, and then we got it back and went down with a touchdown. So I think it just sets up the game, gives you that momentum, and puts the pressure back on the other team.
Jordan, when you see your defense playing as well as they were and you have a lead, is there any extra caution that you play with, or just being a little bit more careful to not give them an easy turnover or something like that?
Definitely. That's always the mindset. Defense playing the way they're playing, balling out. You get a 2-score lead, you got to be smart with it. You got to take care of the ball and not give them a way to easily get back into that game or give them great field position. So you got to play smart, and for everybody, that's just, have great ball security, take care of the ball, make great decisions, just keep trusting the defense, go out there and get those stops.
Jordan, aside from maybe one high snap from Sean Ryan where you still hit Wicks over the middle there, Anthony Belton playing, getting some reps at right guard, what do you make of the job the offensive line did as a whole today?
They did great. Sean obviously stepping in there. Like you said, the snaps were on point all day. It's another tough week for him with just all the different looks we're getting and the calls he has to make. So I think he did a good job. There's going to be room for improvement. Like you said, AB getting a lot of reps in there at guard. But I think they did a great job. And obviously, like you said, to be able to just run the ball like we did at the end of the game and keep leaning on that, just the confidence and the trust we got in them to be able to keep leaning on that. But Sean's done a great job, and obviously we'll keep, finding ways to improve and get better and our communication, have, great communication and make sure everybody's on point. But they did a great job as a whole.
You mentioned room for improvement. Is there anything off the top of your head that sticks out?
Yeah, I think you look at penalties. We did a great job today. We had 2, and I think one was just communication. Everybody just being really both of them, just communication. Everybody being focused on the details, and I think we did a great job with ball security. But we just got to find ways to keep executing. I think on some of the third downs, there's still plays we had out there that we missed on. Where I think we've done a great job all season on third down, but there's always room for improvement. You want to be able to go out there and execute every third down, stay on the field, and keep those drives alive. So there's stuff to be had right there, and we'll get another out next week.
Hey, Jordan, I know you're trying to peek at the score, but with everything with the defense and with the way the game was being, the way you guys were running the ball, you said about not making mistakes. Is that an actual conversation on the sideline? Like, does Matt talk to you guys? Because you're a competitor, you obviously want to be slinging in some. Do you guys talk about that, or is that just assumed because you guys are smart enough to know?
No, it's definitely something we talk about on the side and just mention it. And, it's just, for me, that mindset of having a little bit extra caution to not even, take some unneeded risks, if you will say. But it's definitely a conversation. But, guys all have that mindset. We want to go out there, be aggressive on every time. But you got to find ways to win these games. And that's what was needed today.